Okay, Breezy. Just woke up. Well, no. I got up at 5. I've been preparing and cooking and packing, and you know the deal. So, what is my note for you today for my baby? Now, remember, you pass these on to all your siblings, female-wise. So, Nana Pody's nugget for today, Breezy, is listen to your man. Sometimes you can think, oh, this sounds stupid. He don't know what he's talking about. When a negative thought about your husband or baby daddy or boyfriend comes into your head, cast it down. Remember, Satan don't want our families to be together. And remember, I told you before, say it. Think it, don't say it. No matter how ludicrous the idea is, even if you have to say, okay, and then go investigate. Because, believe it or not, Brianna, what I've learned, and if I'd have had this philosophy, I'd still be married, Brianna. But sometimes you got to fall and hit your head to realize, just whatever the man say, just go with it. If it comes into an issue, he can resolve it. I remember one time, and I'll give you a good example. God showed me this, but I was too stubborn to realize it. So, your grandpa wanted a car and a car stereo so bad. So, and we only had Leela, and Leela was like, how old was Leela? She was about 9 months old. So, your grandpa went out and bought him a car stereo with his whole check. Didn't have a car to put it in. I said, well, I'm taking my check and I'm paying the rent and the utilities. When Leela ran out of milk, I said, Leela don't have no milk. What are you going to do? He said, I figured out. Man, we didn't have a car. Now, when we was in Denver, Colorado, we lived on Akron. And then the next street behind us was Yosemite. And so, again, we lived on the first street in Aurora, and the last street was Yosemite. Papa Claude walked 4 hours. And then ended up catching the bus back another 2 or 3, 4 hours. Anyway, he walked until he went to his friend's house. His friend took him all kinds of different places. And he walked in that door with TT Leela's formula milk. He was gone 8 hours. And I was like, well, Leela, I was feeding her mashed potatoes. And I gave her some diluted juice. I was like, what we going to do about formula? I was doing the best that I could. There wasn't no welfare, wasn't no food stamps. We was making it. But he made a mistake, and I paid all the bills. And then he had to go fix it. But sometimes we take charge, and we think that I'm gonna fix it. No, let him fix it. Let him be the man that God created him to be. Sometimes you just gotta raise your eyebrows and go with it. As hard as it is. And I think, like, my mom died at 32 years old. So I wanted to allow my children to be strong, and you can do everything. Because I saw my dad do it all by himself. But sometimes when we're raising these strong black women, we're raising them to be alone. So if I can give you any advice of all my life when it comes to everything, whether it's nursing, you know I be sending you all kind of stuff. Nana, you are disgusting. Nana, you too old for this. I said, Lauren London had a nice, fine man. She said, Mama. She said, Nana, you too old to be. I said, ain't nothing wrong with my eyes. I ain't blind. He was fine. Talented, fine. Hey, there's nothing more sexy than an intelligent man. But anyway, back on subject. You know how I be going on off on third base. Back on subject. Breezy, listen to your man. No matter what, listen to your man. If you make a mistake, let him fix it. Because that's what's going to keep your family together. You have to be... Man, I just said this video, Brianna. It's like when I take care of my patients, you have to be part of an interdisciplinary team. But you always got to do what's in the best interest of the patient. That same doing what's the best interest of the family, part of an interdisciplinary team, you have to do that when you're having a child inside of you. That child don't deserve whatever that man's fault is. That's between him and God. God will fix that. Like they told me that when I was too hard-headed to listen. Hang in there. It'll get better. And it sure would have, Brianna. So, I hope this helps you. I'm going to be busy for the rest of the day here because, Nana got 9,000 things she got to get done. But just remember, women are meant to be women and men are meant to be men. And we don't think the same. We don't love the same. We don't even cook the same. But, like in the best words of the most wisest man I know, my son, play your position. Play your position at the job. Play your position in your marriage. Play your position in any relationship as the mother. As long as you play your position. And the only time you hop out front on your family is if your husband or your man or your boyfriend, something happens and he ain't there no more. Then you ain't got no choice but to be the lead. It's just like that retired basketball, football player. I don't know. I was watching his podcast. He said, I want a partner. A partner, a helpmate. So if I fall into a coma, she know what to do. Best advice ever. He had to fall into a coma for her to take the lead. Otherwise, she following his lead. I'm telling you, Brianna. When a man knows that you going to follow his lead, nobody else is going to be attractive. When a man knows that he got the best woman in town doing everything for him, and he's king, I know. But I think there's nothing more attractive to a man than somebody who's willing to wash his feet and serve him like Jesus did disciples. Play a position, Brianna. In the words of CJ. In the words of Tame. So, Brianna, I got to tell you, I thought I was going to end it, but I'm not. So, after my divorce, and I reevaluated everything that I did wrong, I said, well, I'm going to learn how to serve a man. And I said, God, take the wheel. So, the next guy I dated, Brianna, I'm telling you, I treated him like he was the king. And I was a concubine. Oh, Brianna, he asked me 3 times to marry him. But he has some issues with your dad. Because, 2 alpha males, they boom butt heads. And I was like, I just need somebody to love my son and respect my son. I don't want nobody that's thinking about harming my son. But, Brianna, I didn't... we was with a whole bunch of men. I ain't know nobody. Everybody else asked the question and the girl flaunting all around. We was in a car full of men. And I just was creeped out. I was there to watch him race. That's some joker just still gonna start talking to me. I said, I don't know this nigga. Forgive me. I don't want to know this. I looked him dead in them gorgeous, big old black brown eyes. I said, baby, may I speak? I ain't speaking to no man if he don't tell me to. And I don't know you. I ain't looking you in your eyes, looking you in your face. I'm here for you. I don't know none of them. Your daddy back there. I don't know none of them. I ain't speaking unless you give me permission to. Brianna, you have to play your position because that turned into the strongest, best relationship I ever had. And the reason that I didn't marry the man, I had this guy named Jimmy. Used to always have a crush on me. And Jimmy, I think his name was Hunter. I don't know. He had a jerry curl. He was cute. But Jimmy, mom, I got into a fight with her boyfriend. And Jimmy didn't want to see his mom get hit. Every son want to protect their mom. And when Jimmy protected his mom, Jimmy was shot and killed. And that always stood in my head, because both of him and my son both was headstrong. If they had gotten into a fight, it was going to be a casualty. you 2 pit bulls. One of them ain't winning. So that's why I said no, and I just stayed by myself. Was the best decision? He's happy. I'm content. Take the advice, Brianna. Take the advice. It will pay off.